Hello from me, Lazar Hristov. We continue with the next lesson of the course by HTML. Last time we looked at lists in HTML, and now we will look at colors in HTML. We open the PDF file. In HTML it is mainly used. The RGB color model. RGB is an abbreviation from red, green, blue and is an abstract color model for color quantification. Applicable mostly in computing environments and technology of color television. With him, the colors are red, green and blue are mixed in different ratios to obtain all other colors. And each of these three colors has 256 possible values, from 0 to 255, that is, all combinations are 256 by 256 by 256, more than 16 million, though in practice a greater part of the colors are very similar to each other, so the actual distinguishable colors are much less. So here is the schematic layout, and presentation in the form per cube of the RGB model. This is how, for example, a distant point is in the three coordinate axes, and so we can imagine it. Colors in an HTML document can be specified in several ways. By using RGB value in decimal code. The code in the editor is as follows, for example, this is red text. The first parameter is responsible for the red color, the second for green, the third for blue. We see that it is maximal, and the rest have 0 values. The second option is with use of hex value in hexadecimal code, which is RGB again, but in hexadecimal code. This is the most used way. The code in the editor will be then the following, this is red text. In the hexadecimal number system the digits 0 to 9 are used and the letters A, B, C, D is F, so F is like the largest, and FF is equal to 255, practically. So, there is another option using the English names of the colors, but this is not suitable for professional use. But you can use it for an educational or personal site. There are 140 colors with standard names in English. Here is a link. I won't write it in the subtitles. The code is roughly as follows, it just says this here, and the result in the browser and in all three variants it will be the same. As a second example of these options show a table of 5 colors, so here we have, red, yellow, green, cyan and blue as names. Here's how it is with RGB codes, here is the hex codes. There are special programs, generators of colors from which they can be made various combinations. Also, most of them have color recognition functions, so if we come across a distant color, to know what its code is. And now I'll show you two such generators. One is Colorzilla, it is to make a gradient, that's when it's done such an overflow of colors, it's very interesting, you can play. Very interesting and original effects can be obtained. Look here, by such a change is being done. And they can be obtained very interesting such options. You can play around and see it. Here's another generator I'll show you, which is also used for gradients, but in this case I will show it to you, for palettes. These are ready-made palettes of suitable colors which you can use. It is especially suitable when you are making your website, because suitable colors are already combined here. Of course, there are many such generators, I have just shown 2 of them here. Thus, word processors also have the ability to work with colors, here for example in LibreOffice, the free office which also has such options. From here you can choose adjust your colors not only in RGB but also in 2 more variants. According to modern trends, the colors of the individual elements are set not in the HTML document, but in the CSS file, which serves for its layout, but I just showed them now to get an idea. Otherwise, we will deal with them in the CSS section. Another color model has been added in CSS3. HSL model, and added law and transparency property, in both RGB color modes and actually become 2 new RGBA and HSLA, that is, they contain such a special alpha channel which is responsible for the transparency property. Setting the colors and matching them are a very important part of the creation of any website, but this is quite a vast subject for which a whole separate book could even be written. That will be all for this tutorial. Best regards.